basically see things are working as intended. Hopefully that's the case. Yeah, there's a little bit of like some roomy effect. Yeah, okay, that's good to know. That my voice is a little bit better, not as nasal. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, I have the other video over there. I wonder what's happening. Um, I'll just see music. What do you think of my new standby screen? I think it's neat. Or is that new or have I already used it? I don't know. I don't know. Everything's so stressful. Well, I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit because I still need to configure things, and it doesn't really start until in 20 minutes. I'm not going to start after 20 minutes. I just need to configure a couple of things here. Okay, okay. Got everything that I need right now. Hmm. It's pretty um there we go. What did I move? Oh, that thing again. There we go. There we go. The link of the photo is in the description. So I don't think dude would appreciate it if I just studied from his photo. I'm gonna talk a little bit. I just so many things that just happened that were quite unfortunate too. Now my hand hurts. They cut me hand. Not literally, but I have a cut on my hand. It's not very nice. It hurts a little bit. I'm not happy about it. But I think everything has been mostly resolved decently enough. But that being said, I don't think my father's gonna be happy about that one. It is decided, I think this photo had a very interesting composition for me to study. And interesting colors and all this stuff. A little bit of Mancunian soundtrack was to make me happier. It's so good. Such a good game. The other games from Amanito weren't as popular, to be fair. So the soundtracks are pretty good. Still comments like that, yeah. Brain mush. Just dead. Also, my dad hasn't really allowed me to sleep a lot, and like at all. It's not. It's kind of his fault, and also not his fault. A lot of it is also like hormones. But my god. What a terrible bunch of days! Ah! I moved my butt because I need to live stream, but my god. Actually, now that I think about it, I better do something real quickly. Yeah, that's not right. Real quickly. Something happens. Then no, something. Okay, I'm back. The thing that I needed to do has been done rather quickly, and if you heard, have been hearing, a crying dog, that's because he's in horny jail. Like, he cannot get out of horny jail. Because, why? Because it is jail, and he's too horny. But yeah, is a little bit banned from doing anything. Hang on, how do I fix this? I need the audio to be a little bit bigger on my microphone, and OBS updated. Oh, there's this audio thing for my drawing app. Unfortunately, audio apps don't really have audio, especially it's like. But I know because my microphone is very loud to begin with. Let's see. There you go. Is this better? Let's see. Better? That should be. Let's make it louder. But yeah, the reason it's important to jail is because one of my dogs is in heat. I believe that's what you call it in English. It's usually doable with one girl. You know? Still a girl. Well, I joined another girl from the streets because nobody claimed the doggy. I'm like, okay, she's mine now. But yes, I've adopted another girl. But when she arrived, it was also in heat. And, let's say that it's been pretty much almost 2 months in a row of pure hormones, and my poor dog is just being driven insane, pretty much. And I even noticed that some of his parts were starting to get swollen. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I never had male dogs. So I just recently today I just had to go to the veterinary. I went twice because apparently they weren't open early enough, and I was way too early. And I'm like, goddamn! So I had to walk extra with my dog. By the way, that hasn't really helped a lot of his condition. He needs to do even more exercise. I'm gonna need help with that one. So not only have I walked a ton today, just trying to like get to the veterinarian, but he wasn't there. I was too early, and I had to go to him twice. But yeah. uh, I also had to walk him again because that's literally his prescription for now. Like, I finally had the talk and with the veterinarian because I finally decided that it is time to actually sterilize the animals. Especially now that I have four little doggies, but none of them are sterilized, and it can be quite chaotic. And, yeah, what I would usually uh, like to like give them a more natural lifestyle. That's not happening in such a tiny place. There's no room for babies in here. Like, we're literally pop capped in this house. 4 dogs is too much. And they're tiny too, so yeah. So, well, yeah, I thought that, like, the dog had probably, like, some sort of, like, glands infection or something, because it was really swollen. And the veterinarian like, no, don't worry, like, your dog is pretty healthy. And I'm like, oh my god, thank god, he's not sick. But he's very horny. Really little baby boy. He cannot get it on. He's never gonna get it on. He's not gonna have anything to get it on. I'm sorry, boy. I have to remove your equipment, but I literally cannot see you in pain. Yeah, I was pretty in pain with that poor little thing. Got me all worried, but also like he was molesting the new girl. And I just couldn't let him do it, you know. There's so much shit the little girl can do, you know. She's very young, and she looks very young. But also she looks very inexperienced, so when little Polo was trying to pull the moves on her, she was like, nope, I don't know what this is, I don't like it, please stay away. And he was being specifically very annoying, but apparently, like, the heat season for dogs, it actually lasts even, like, a good 3 months after the bleed. They bleed. I thought it was during the bleeding, but this is why he always has to be veterinary, not your father. Even though he can be quite authoritarian with his version of the truth, but thankfully the veterinarian that I have nearby, it's very nice that he's as close to where I live. It's very convenient, and he's actually pretty good. He does a very good job. I took one of my dogs once. Costed more than another good veterinarian that we usually take our dogs to, but he did a very, very good job. And I trust that he might do a good job sterilizing all of the dogs. And he even gave me some tips on how to like get my little girl la señorita, or la little Leaf, la pequeña Leaf. She is like the rescued Chihuahua. I didn't rescue her, we just adopted her, but there are some cool tips on how to like literally like fully help her to finally like lose all the unnecessary grease that she has on her body. I didn't know you can also give dogs some fruits, and obviously not all fruits, like citrus fruits. That's probably not a good idea because they cannot digest that shit, and that might make them go that might hurt them, you know. Yeah. Oh, she that's not it. Yeah, I'm finally taking the decision to finally start as my dogs, which I was very resistant to, but again, like with 3 dogs, it was manageable, and like you know, Marco, his balls never dropped, so he wasn't really much of a problem. It was just Polo, so it was bearable. But now with like 4 dogs and 2 girls, yeah, that's not happening. Also, the veterinarian also explained to me something quite funny though. So like, Mads plays Chihuahuas. He told me that apparently Chihuahuas produce twice the usual amount that any other dog would ever produce when it comes to like seeds, you know. And he told me that's why Chihuahuas are so aggressive, and I'm like, oh, because they have bigger balls than the rest of the dogs. I didn't tell him that, but that's what I thought. You think I'm not funny with people? No, I have to think about it until I jump the internet, so it's funnier. So it's lamer. Yeah. Sorry for the but I'm drawing. I can only do so much with brain power. Yes. I think that should be loud enough now. I don't have to yell at the microphone every single time. But it was very funny, and just imagining the Chihuahua. This is why Chihuahuas are like so fucking bold. It's just that they have bigger balls than even humans. It's dumb. I think this time I'm gonna have to live stream for a certain period of time on a simple premise of I'm gonna have to do a lot of explaining. I was cleaning, door closed, had to break window. I cut myself too. I have to pay, though who knows if they even come early. It is Friday, they usually do. I'm gonna have to do a lot of explaining. Shie, that's not right at all. But yeah, it's time to change it with my doggies. And well, I'm kind of proud to say that I have adopted more dogs than I ever bought. After the last little girl that I had, she was bought. I didn't buy her. My grandma bought her because my will. I desperately needed to have a Chihuahua. That's something I kind of resent a little bit from my family, is that they have zero chill and they do not let me to have pauses between dogs, you know. I think the last girl before these 4 doggies. I think it took me a while before I had a proper dog. My grandma desperately wanted me to get a dog, so she bought one from illegal breeders when she was like incredibly tiny. I couldn't tell her no. I was too small to tell her no. I was too young. And my grandma was too stubborn. I need to realize that my grandma wasn't a sane individual, so it wouldn't have mattered. Anyways, I would have bought it whether I was there or not. These dogs, oh my god, 4 days after my girl died. Oh my god. I love them now though. They're very silly. They're like they're like Dumb and Dumber. They're silly gooses. They don't think anything. But oh, hopefully handling them now is gonna be easier now that they're their balls chopped. Yeah, yeah. You know something, this conversation was a lot funnier in my head, but I just cannot do anything about being so physically exhausted. And I hate that I'm having to live stream when I'm so tired. And good news, I actually got a little Roomba thing. Bad news is that China now has my face and my room. Even better news, it's working right now, and I can do this live stream. Otherwise, I wouldn't be having the. I wouldn't have been able to before. Still, it has been a lot of hands-on cleaning. Plus the fact that I had to break a window to get inside my own house. So freaking closed the door. Also, I didn't break an actual window from like a window thing, you know. No, in Mexico, like doors, it's very common for doors to also have windows. So most of them are metal doors. Doors, yes. Pretty sure this is yeah, feel like that. But nevertheless, I had a very funny moments with the veterinarian and very helpful moments. And my little girl is gonna be super extra spoiled because she's gonna be eating fruits. And there's nothing that she cannot eat and she won't eat. That's the reason why we call her La Goldie. Because she's a little bit fat. She's not that fat and she has lost a lot of weight, but she still has a few things to lose. And yeah, the veterinarian even told me like, oh no, like exercise like these days and like for this amount of time, and let them eat fiber. Like that's gonna help them lose weight the most. So yeah, my dogs are doing pretty fine. They're pretty healthy. We're just gonna have to deal with it for a month. Especially Polo. Poor little buddy. Little baby boy. just wants to get it on. I am not letting him. Sorry. Also, speaking of dogs, because the other day, I don't know if I mentioned this on the live stream. I probably did. But the fact that I was sort of perturbed that there was a lot of dogs the other day, earlier this year. So that was one of the reasons why I found the new little girl called Ellie. Yes, she has a more human name, but I don't care. My dogs, I can name them whatever I want. But yeah, little Ellie. But before we found her, there was like a lot of female dogs on the streets, especially young ones. Like there was like a little Chihuahua. There was a couple of mixed girls. One of them was definitely a puppy mama. Puppy mama. There we go. And yeah, it's not gonna lie. It's kind of depressing. It's one of the things that I sort of quite want to go out and take my dogs out for a walk. Mostly because I am a little bit scared, especially after I sort of mentioned before that my little Polo was once attacked by a stray dog. Thankfully nothing happened. It seemed like stray dog was just trying to put Polo in his place. I don't know why would you do that with something so tiny, but okay. And okay, sorry, I just heard the noise. Apparently the little room is done, which is good. It's now the floor plants cleaned. I have to turn anything. Well, what was I thinking about doggies? Oh yeah, I sort of researched as to why there were so many stray dogs, but apparently Mexico is one of the biggest country, like one of the countries with the biggest amount of stray dogs in the world, especially in Latin America. It had like, and the sad part is that 60% of those dogs, or 70% of those dogs, were literally abandoned. What the fuck? Well, I don't think it's quite fully and truly. I don't know. Maybe it might be because when I adopted Ellie, she was literally just a little girl who literally was waiting outside of her door, and she was small enough that I could literally like, okay, maybe I can take care of you because you're like small and I am able to afford care for all of you. But I also like sort of on an alt account in Facebook that I use for references, I shared the fact that she was lost and maybe that she belonged to somebody, and even people like try to share the posts and like maybe find the owner, but nobody answered, and I'm like, maybe she's not wanted. And I shared her, like I did try to look for the owner, and yeah, I came up with nothing. So that's just my theory that maybe she was dumped, especially if you consider that when we found the girl, when we found the girl, because my parents found her first, and then I just sort of joined her from the streets. Like she clearly had some bits and pieces of being like a house dog, but then the fact that that she was outside and she was also like started to get filled with ticks and other parasites. It leads me to think that maybe she wasn't wanted because of that simple fact. Like, I don't want more dogs. Get this dog out of my face. Sort of situation. I know it happens. And it sucks that it is this way, but it is. But good news is that she's very happy with all of us. And better news, I think she likes everybody. Except poor Polo right now. I think she's fed up with Polo. But she doesn't hate Polo. She just sort of plays with him until he gets too horny and she now has to start biting him. Polo doesn't care because he's too horny to care. I cannot hear my own thoughts. Music's too loud. There we go. But yeah, it's one of those things. I did get quite frustrated because I'm like, I would like to have a country where I can just walk my dogs and not worry every single time about, well, if the dog that I'm going to encounter is going to be a good boy or a angry boy, you know. I like to walk my dogs in peace, and to the point where I'm going to have to consider buying a walking trait thing. I don't know, what do you call those? Una caminadora, a ver, hang on, what do you call caminadoras in English? Treadmill, there we go. Walking treadmill, it was a treadmill. There we go. Wait, can we? I know. Why do you open a new thing? Okay. Okay. Just sad facts of life. I mean, he could just those dogs but won't do anything to freaking protect them, and also it's country with a lot of poverty, so like there's a good chunk of the population that cannot properly take care of dogs. There's like the other part of the like ignorant people who just see dogs as a business. Oh well, just a little bit angry. So I would generally like if Mexico were safer to just walk around with dogs. Because I am a little bit shook still about that time where Polo just got attacked and I just don't want to. God, man. Hell, well, I do want to go out on my own, but when it comes to dogs, I'm like extra sensitive. I don't want to see them hurt. Because they're kind of useless and I cannot really defend themselves, and that really stresses me out. But yeah, it's just lucky business. Okay, it's been 30 minutes since we've been properly live. I feel I screwed up the proportions. Aye. Yes, I did. I screwed up percentage. A bit. There's a very cool exercise that I like to do, where I actually do thumbnails of pictures that I study. And that really helps with proportion because it really helps you, like, in this tiny space you have to imply size and magnitude, I suppose. Because you have such a small space, like you really have to focus on like the shapes and stuff. And I think it's pretty nice. You don't take too long working a single piece because the space is so tiny for whole floor. Quite quickly. Yeah. It is going to be interesting. Yeah, it's steady. Also, the dude who's the reference I'm taking from, he wasn't okay with people like taking his art and modifying it. Well, his photography. But I didn't see anything about making studies with it. And I'm like, I'll take this shot. If he doesn't want to, I'll take it down. But yeah, I did provide the link to the actual artwork in the description, just in case. But I did like his photography. Hopefully it's real. It looks real. Like he has that poor camera quality, and this probably is the actual real place in Earth. Looks like it, unless it's not, and I'm just bamboozled. Have you seen the news about the new NVIDIA update? Where they tried adding AI on top of video game models. Like, they had AI literally, like, try and sharpen the image. I didn't get it at first because I wasn't quite sure what was I supposed to be looking at. I'm like, I guess it looks fine. Just a little bit more illuminated. And then people like started pointing out the differences and started showing that no, like even the artistic direction and it was completely changed based on whatever the AI was trained on, which is mostly Instagram photos. So you had characters that were supposed to look like normal people, don't have like Instagram filters on their faces. The memes were pretty funny though. Yeah, for apparently being such a little, you know, improvement sort of thing, it literally did nothing. It does nothing! People who are making AI have no idea what people actually want or need. Or would like to actually see. Like, even the task was make this picture, like, clearer, like, more detailed, like, you know, refine it. It completely changes the art direction. I'm like, you just what? What are you doing? What are we doing here? What is the market? I don't think that's you don't have a market, do you? I have no idea. The only market is investors, and they'll soon run out of money. Soon enough, I suppose. Oh, the sleepy times are catching up to me. I'm not going to sleep. I want to sleep early. So I want to fix my sleep. But I don't think Polo's gonna So I'm just gonna pull into the what you call it? Not garage. Similar use, but it's not garage because it's in the white. And now it's also not a garden because there's no garden. To a patio, I suppose. I think I only heard a few times about patio. Patio? I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm gonna call it patio. I think my little dog has finally tired himself from all the crying and howling at the moon and the stars while his beloved one, the young girl. Oh, Polo, do not touch the young girl. She's too young, she doesn't want you. She's not a girl, she's an adult, but they're my boys and I'm my girls. But that sound very fucked up when you put it like, wait no. Polo, viejo verde. No. Don't touch the child. Please. So ditch. Oh. Ooh. No. Much better. To be we get it out of here. No. Have you heard a little cry? That was my dog. It's a little bit desperate because he gonna go and do business. He gon' fuck. Wants the fuck. He wants some fuck. I don't have the same energy. Help me. Oh. I got it. We're here. Well, what else? I don't know, man. Let me brain rot over here. Well, brain mush over here for a little while. If I can think what's the next topic. Some energy for this topic. Brains. Brains. Hang on, hold that. Hold that. There's tape over here. Over here. I don't know. Nope. No hay en ningún lado. Pero horny. faster. I'll try to copy everything, so that takes forever. Please. Yeah. Yeah. Really fixed. I don't know this about sides. I have to be a little bit on alert because I'm gonna have to do a change of doggies. There are two having outside. Leo, Marco, and Ellie have to get inside. One has to get banned outside all on his own. Poor little buddy. Poor little buddy. I'm sorry. I have to do it for the stability of this house and my own sanity. Oh, yes. I'm I'm yawning like a freaking I don't know, soup visitor like in Sutekun. I don't know. That's the first thing that came to mind. Sutekun and the Lotus yawns. It'd be cool to have something similar to Sutekun. I know there's like Soup Planet, but that was like that was a bit too good at building things. Like I would like a robust building engine, but that's also like simplify, you know? Also like optimizes the shit out of itself. I don't really mind much about the graphics, nor do I necessarily want something that's specifically realistic, just something fun to play. That's mostly based on my experience with playing Sudoku 1. No. I think Sudoku 1 is a very fun game. That's more about economics than it is about zookeeping. ¿Está llorando la límpida? Ya te vi. No. It smells from the window and he's calling to his lover. Soulmate. No. It's... En 5 minutos más y ya te sales. Pero solo. Ah. Oh no, the travesty. Poor little Polo. Getting blue buttoned. That sounds very bad if you take that out of context. But yeah. Oh, I had to take such a literal wild action yesterday because he was like pestering my little girl really too hard. I had to pinch him real hard. He wasn't reacting, like he was getting bitten
very hard by the other girl. Like, she was even like growling almost too aggressively. He wasn't getting the attention. He was pinching her like, ah! He quit it. Bro, she's like, she's telling you she's not interested. Just keep on going. Just keep on insisting. I'm like, no, she's not interested. Girl, she insists that she. But I am. Not. He paid for it. Be a little bit too. Yeah. Nope, not happening. It's too early for it. Shouldn't write it. Oh, there's a show that I haven't started watching with my mother. Another. It's kind of as my mother calls him very dearly. I don't know if that's an insult, but when my mother says it, she means it in the most wholesome way possible. Korean series, a drama. What's it called? It's actually kind of very well made. I was impressed. Um, Oh my god, there's apparently a lot of shows with widows and policemen. Hang on, because it's a very different series. Apparently, there's quite a few of those. That apparently is a very common trope. But I really enjoyed how the characters were written because they were like yeah, they had very nice chemistry, and I liked the banter between the characters and the plot. I thought it was a very robust show, and it's quite silly. Hang on, I'm trying to find it. Okay. I think it's the Tale of Lady Okay? Hang on. Is it? Yes, it is. It is. It is. It's the Tale of Lady Okay. Okay, that's the name. I I need to look for it because I don't think it's the name, same name in Spanish, of course. As all things are. But it's a very entertaining you know Korean mystery. Not as much drama. There's a little bit of drama, but it's one of those few times where I'm like, oh my god, I'm rooting for these characters to actually get together because they actually have good chemistry for once. Is that too much to ask these days? It's usually like pretty boy and pretty girl, and just like give each other just looks, and I'm like, ah, this is boring. like, I know this sort of thing happens in real life, but I will like my entertainment to actually entertain me. You know, sometimes if it's gonna have romance, it better be fucking good. Right. I'm not gonna write it because it sucks. Nah, and that's actually a very recent video that I saw. I don't remember the YouTuber, I'm afraid though. But I was quite happy to not be the only person that just fucking hates romance in movies and shows and all these things. And just feel validated my hatred of romance as a genre because most of it is just garbage. it's either codependent, abusive shit or just narcissistic a-holes getting the girl, or just some very fucked up shit. I don't know, man. It's horrible. I hate it. I hate it so much. People eat that shit up too. I know, I have read the fanfiction. Some people genuinely love that shit. They're into that even harder. Which is kind of creepy to think about. I was like, what would the beings do? And just that fucked up. That's gonna be... That's gonna hurt, but I'm not gonna be there to save you because you clearly want that shit. And nah, I don't think I think a lot of people hide themselves in the fact that it's just a fantasy, but I don't think I'm pretty sure there's a big part of their subconscious is like, I actually want this. This is why I'm gonna turn on by it, you know? I don't trust anybody these days anymore. I think they're all liars. I'm just gonna shaming people at this point. Oh, what I dare. That is therapy, man. Trust me, Ash is not worth it. I work at a psychology center. Ash, it's not worth it, not worth it. You're gonna end up with way too many bruises, and whether that is metaphorically or literally. Seriously, some men, oh my god. I don't wanna say that as like, because men have been in under a lot of fire lately. And not everyone deserves it, but goddamn. Most of the abuse has been paid by men. Like, Jesus Christ. Are we not trying to address the psychological, implications of that one later? You know, like, I don't know. I feel like we're just blaming men, but not really finding the real reasons and trying to offer help for it, you know? I think that's probably, that's what I'm thinking, you know? There needs to be more, support, things. I don't know. Anything. Not anything, literally. Because that might be a bad idea now that I think about it. But there does need to be a little more research and more, like, ways to avoid this sort of thing, because, the patterns are there. I am my mom, who's the one that's given the therapy. She's like, yeah, like, they're women. There definitely are. Most have been men, and it just leaves you perturbed. But of course, not everyone. Because there have been men who have been, you know, hurt too. I think that's very important to remind people these days. I am tired of this gender war. I think it's done. Very childish, and like, come on, you're not in preschool. Like, stop peering cuties. Yeah, cuties. There we go. That's a gross oversimplification, but you know, you have to poke the bear a little bit. Gonna make the villain realize, hey, that was no good, bro. Is she not helping? One get help, you wanna let the others get help too. That sheet of rules for me, but not for thee, you know. want real progress over here. I don't know how well my pronunciation is today. I am trying my best, but I haven't practiced in a little while. I don't know how consistent I am with it too. Hopefully it is better than before. I think I might have to do part 2 later on. I think my cat stopped like I have to remove the appendage completely, preventing me from growing right now. Well, I have to change it to be good. Be really careful with my pretty. Yeah, that I used to grow. It's handy.
$12 minutos más.
Poor dog, he doesn't understand time and space. He's just a dog. He's just like, he's not having a good time. Wait, I think I think they just turns. It's fine. I can be excused. So far the patterns seem fine. I am not spotting anything AI right now. I mean, before anybody gets mad, I recognize the birch look buddy. I don't know everything. Yeah, Max, I think the descriptions in the there's nothing about the bridge. Hang on, let me search. Okay, it's called the Liberty Bridge in Budapest, Hungary. Okay, it is a real place. Good to know. I never seen it before. Not even the Great Budapest Hotel, so a shame on them. They should have warned me, warned me, but they didn't. It's their fault. I don't know what Wes Anderson has done to me, but here we are. It's his fault, though.
Yeah, no, he's not growing to me. He's growing to me. I don't know if you can hear him, but he's very anxious. It's not even crying to me. Crying to the window. He knows where this smell is coming from. Oh my god. I've been having to live with that little shit day and night. Ugh. Ah, this one. What's going on here? Barely. Pick up blocking tutorials. Early gremlin. Hang in there. We'll no longer have a thing. All those things. Never again. Oh. It's just dark. You're dark, man. Oh. No. He just has that face. He's like, why are you denying me the right of passion? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I can't take care of them. That's why. I can only take care of her right now. Not enough space or food. Yeah, I think it's gonna need a lot more looking than I was previously giving. I'm too tired for that right now. I treat you so badly.
loud it is that actually? It's very loud for me. Very loud. Very, very loud. I hope that I'm talking. It's in very high quality. And a couple of issues here. I cannot tell what's going on. Oh, the picture just a tiny. Simply that tiny. Tiny tuna. It's tiny tuna. I know it also sounds like a tiny fish. Tiny sea fish. But it's not a tiny sea fish. It's just a tiny thing. Tiny tuna little thing. Why? Because I'm Mexican. I can just make up words. I can make a phrases or the fuck I want. I just our secret power. I have now rebuilt it to the world. We make shit up. What an amazing superpower. Is this superpower? Oh, cross over here. Ooh, remixes. Don't mind me if I do. Pretty cool. My favorite game. I think there are still plushies of one of the roads from Machinarium. I kinda want to get one. You're gonna sign my papers plush. I think that'd be pretty cute. Thing. I don't think I have told you, Spooky Ghost audience, but
I got a new tablet. An XP Pen Deco Pro. Finally finished paying it. It took me a little while, but I did. And that's probably the only reason I was able to do these little bridges from so far away. I've noticed I sort of can see and understand why people get like bigger tablets. It's so you can do like drawings from further away. I used to think that well, to be fair, some people do actually like the big canvases and like spaces. I don't quite like them as much. And this is definitely in between my old display tablet, the Huyun Canvas 13, and especially compared to something like the Wacom Intuos S, I believe. No, actually, it's not the S version, it's the Draw version, because I got that before it became the S line. Welcome products. I sort of understood more or less the, I don't know, the pressure points, especially after comparing the little Wacom tablet to like these more advanced XP Pen Deco Pro on the canvas. Oh. Like you can really feel it, but now I don't have to burn my eyes for it too. Now I am still using the other tablet, the display tablet, but now I am using it as a screen, and it's pretty neat. Slightly, it is smaller than my laptop screen, but I just want it for the colors, and I think this setup is pretty nice. I don't feel like I have a very advanced setup, because I have my actual tablet here too, looking at the photograph, and then I have my display tablet, and I just have my computer on. Like, I feel so modern. I feel like a gamer. To be fair, it's a very strange setup, but it works. Now, I'm actually gonna start getting some stuff to build my own PC. I don't know which things I'm gonna start going for. Because the most recent stuff you cannot get, but I do know there has been various generations of good stuff that I can still get, and I can get a pretty decent PC. Especially because I have heard some of the components have been recommended by even artists. Like, oh, I'm an artist and I use this setup and it works fine. And I'm like, okay, I probably should get that one. I also got like the point of view from somebody who develops games, because since I'm sort of, I have put a little bit of a stuff, but I am trying to learn also Blender, so I was like, okay, let's see our opinions on somebody who does different things. But not just program, but just graphics as well. And yeah. It's gonna be super cool. And the computer may actually be able to run freaking Clipstudio. Oh my god, that makes me so mad though. That makes me very angry. Like, it's Clipstudio run well. I don't like my tablet. It works so nice, so beautifully. Today, fucking instead of CPU, CPU. I don't know. Whatever. It's made me angry. Yeah. Oh, actually, that's a very it's a very different shape than I thought. Yeah.
Ah, that's very interesting. Hang on. There we go. I was like, why doesn't my tab look picture looks a lot more yellow than my computer? Like my computer looks very dark. It is a dark photo, but the nuances of color are a lot clearer on my tablet. Like I would consider my display tablet to like in between of what my laptop screen looks like, super desaturated and very dark. It's really bad. When if you play games with my computer, there are some places that just look too dark. Like it's actually scary to play Minecraft on the PC. You cannot see shit. I also have gotten killed online because some places were too dark for me and I just couldn't see shit. Hey. Yeah, speaking of playing online, there has been a mod for Team Fortress 2. And played before, to be fair. That's probably the place that I've been hiding mostly around. I got a taste of the whole matchmaking system. It's been pretty fun though. Play. You know, you know something's magical when literally everybody in the server like is just saying dumb shit, and there's this one person trying to talk about politics, and everyone was like, "No politics, no politics, no politics." Like they won't let the kid just talk about politics. Like, oh no politics. That shit was awesome because I'm like, oh my god, freedom. You know, I want to play games to have fun. Not to like the discussion about specifically American politics. Yeah, I'm done with those. I don't care. And as of course, it's the technology stuff that's clearly affecting all of us. Jesus. No details, the persist to details anyways. It's okay, I'm just trying to practice. I think next time we should improvise because I have been doing studies camera, of course. It's 1 hour a day is good enough. Look from far away to see how the picture is turning out. I think it's good enough. You'll actually. Okay. I wasn't waiting to put in. Perfect. Ya, a ver, sale.
Okay. Krita. Okay. Doggy displacement successfully made. Had to wash my hands. Ouch. Oh, my cat hurts. Ouch.
don't think I'm doing these, well, like, very amiss. I feel that this part should be longer. Okay, so there was a very interesting video that I saw. I think there's another similar video, but that was talking about icons. But they have very upper American point of view. I think the person was probably missing, or just sort of, yeah, probably missing the time where America had a lot of like cultural icons, but now that's sort of kind of a scatter and nowhere near as, you know, centralized in a way. Never mind the fact that Hollywood hasn't been releasing a lot of very good movies with cohesive or very admirable quality. As that also can be attributed to that. It sort of let me thinking about what is an icon, because I think we have more icons than ever before. And also no, not really. Like yes and no. And what I'm thinking is more or less from the perspective of a Mexican woman. But also, like, I shouldn't really be trusted with that because I'm a nerd too, you know? Like, I don't go to fiestas. I'm a nerd. I don't like those. I don't like this, and I don't like alcohol, and I just not that type of person. But you sort of left me thinking, because it's like, there are a lot of cultural icons that we have, for example, that are way bigger in Latin America than they would ever that they were ever allowed to be in America. For example, like Dragon Ball, or like the Knights of the Zodiac, I believe it's called in English. Hang on. Those two were like super huge in Mexico and like Latin American countries. That was a lot of because like these things were never censored, so you could see all the gore and bits, like all the violence, and kids loved it. I didn't. Some episodes just took too long, especially Dragon Ball. It's so filler filled. It's too much filler, but it's like too much cheese, man. Cheese is nice, but if you put too much of it, it's just like there's no point. Some people like the cheese, way too much cheese, but I'm not that type of person. That's why I never touch the One Piece anime. Screw that. It's also made by the same company too. Like, yeah, and for example, like The Simpsons are also a bit of an icon. Like in Mexico, Latin America, I think they're a bigger icon than they could ever be in United States. So obviously they're an icon, but I do feel like, bro, there are still memes with made with The Simpsons in here to this day. They have not let go. They will not let that shit go. I haven't even watched the freaking Simpsons ever. I might too. Like, I'm a little bit interested. I'm gonna want to watch the first seasons, the most important and relevant ones. Mostly because of how culturally important that show is. Sort of, and also just sort of get a glimpse on like a certain time period of America. I think that might be interesting. So I might do that Not soon, because I don't know when I'll have time.
And I want to finish the other show.
The Tale of the Lady Okay, I believe. But yeah, like even to this day, I feel like that's a huge icon. And like I just think like there's way more icons. I think one of the arguments from that specific video um one was like saying that, for example, like the demon hunter, the K-pop demon hunters weren't so much of an icon because they were like made for girls, while also in the same video saying like, oh, Barbie's an icon. I'm like, bro, he just said like the equivalent and probably bigger version of Sailor Moon of this generation isn't an icon. Bro, what the fuck? That's the most dude the thing I could ever heard. That's like saying that I don't know what. That's like saying Star Wars is not an icon because most women do not like it. I think I highly disagreed with that one. I don't know. What was the video? Do I have the video around here? I don't know. So even that's what I'm. This is the video that I sort of maybe very inspired to talk about this and think about these topics. Like, what is an icon? And there's technically an icon in various parts of Europe. I don't know how many because I don't hear Europeans talking about it very often. But it is a very well. These are very well known characters. Like these characters are literally the Mickey Mouse of Europe. Like these are Asterix and Obelix, and they have been icons for Europeans for quite some time now. I don't think they've tried many times to translate Asterix and Obelix to America, but I'm like, how the fuck are you going to explain Americans about that time of history and like because it's very silly. Like it's obviously it's kind of like the Flintstones, but in the Bronze Age. Except it's not so much of a sitcom, it's more like a episodic cartoon. It wasn't a cartoon. It's more like it started out first as a comic, very silly comic, with a clever Asterix, a short stack little Gaelic character, and Obelix, a gentle giant who's very, very hungry all the time. I grew up with that shit, but like my upbringing is normal. Like my parents taught me to be a nerd, you know. They nurtured that shit in me. I don't think I like that's the thing. Is like, do I count it? Well, maybe sort of, because I can sort of have different glimpses of different like icons of different parts of the world. What people consider icons. One of the things that I do agree is that because there's also more groups of people, like, and we also have the internet. You also have like different people interested in different things, and you can find people who are interested in that same thing. Sort of disconnect yourself from it, you know. I think that's actually kind of cool, you know, find people that like the same thing. But it's very interesting to think about because, for example, there's also another thing that happens with icons because here in Mexico, like we're trying to rival China in terms of bootlegging, like copying things from pop culture and putting them in things, and hang on, let me real quickly search about typical life and the Coco movies.
Okay, 2014. Believe. 2017. Okay, the Book of Life was released in 2014. Coco movie was released in 2017. So like 7, not 7. Like 3 years apart, more or less. 2.5. You want to be more specific. 3 years is probably correct thing. Like it's very curious that you would see those icons specifically on the Day of the Dead, and you will see like Miguelito and his probably his grandfather. I don't think I have seen the grandfather really. Like you can see the skeletons from Coco in like Day of the Dead celebrations. So I do believe that there's a little bit of a push from the government to try and like incorporate actual Mexican culture and not just these these Hollywood movies, because I don't think that's healthy either. And right next to those characters, you see La Catrina from the book of no, La Catrina. No, that's the well, she's a Catrina in design, but she's also like a goddess of the good world in the Book of Light movie, right alongside. Now, to be fair, that's an amazing and stunning design for Death. You know, she looks gorgeous, but it's very funny. Most Mexicans do not care about quality, but people are very hugely and incredibly conformist about that type of stuff. And there, I don't want to see we Mexicans because I'm definitely more snobbish than your average Mexican. Like I think you can hear door banging. That's my dog. He cannot he cannot be let in. He cannot be let. He needs to hold up. He cannot come in. Or he gonna... I mean, the girl. Poor little Ellie. She's too young and innocent. She doesn't want it. She's too aggressive with it too. But yeah, poor little buddy. Poor little buddy. That's all I can say. Anyways. Yeah, so people use Mexicans use those two sort of IPs as icons during the Day of the Dead. And it's very fascinating. Again, like Mexico is not a place of like educated people, and there's more. People don't care too much about art and like media literacy. Like that shit. You thought it was dead in the United States. It's not existent over here. Like people just enjoy movies and just like say this is fine, regardless of the quality. Unless it's like really, really bad, then people are like, okay, yeah, this is too bad. Like the Hellboy movie. A movie that even my dad was like, okay, this sucks. And even then, like, people just prefer to enjoy things rather than just, last them. Because I don't like being, don't like, throwing things away, you know? I think. But then... And you can tell that this is like, something like sort of creeps, in the backs of, like, certain people. And, happens with newer generations.
but parents are not really like paying attention, or certain groups of people, they're just not like very interested on what the youth is into at the moment. Because technically Fortnite has sort of become sort of an icon. Not necessarily characters, because the video was more specifically about characters. Not necessarily about the IP or the story in itself being the icon. Fortnite is more about like there's nothing quite specifically that is like necessarily iconic. Well, probably the dances and certain stuff about it, but I haven't really played the game, so I'm talking about my ass, I'm sorry. Well, what I'm trying to say is, okay, is that kind of like segments of the global population, like might start getting an icon or like developing something they all connect to, but then you hear the argument of like, oh, there's no longer like icons like we used to have, but then you realize that a lot of the people who are saying that might not be like even in the same generation as the other people who are seeing these new characters and new stories and seeing new icons. That's what I'm trying to say. There we go. I'm trying to figure out this freaking thing. So I would say something similar about Undertale, where it was a huge hit, but only in certain areas of the world. Because, well, for once, it was a very easy game to play, but also it has like had a very strong characters, but also like and I would like to add that one as like some sort of iconic game, because even to this day there's like still people remembering it and talking about it, even like well over the golden ages when it was most popular per se. And also, well, you have to also take into account that the Undertale got so big that there were even like TV channels that had people war about how Christian Undertale truly was, and how demonic Sans the Skeleton freaking was. All those silly Americans. Silly Orthodox Christian Americans, I believe. I don't know if there were Orthodox. There are too many Orthodoxies to count. Yes, I said that bad on purpose, unless I said it right on accident. But really, Undertale is kind of sort of stayed for the most like nerdiest of people who know how to speak English and how to install these type of games, and mostly Americans and English speaking countries. There were definitely other countries, but I think it was mostly American. And again, I see the issue that like, oh, there are no icons and all that sort of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but are you actually paying attention, or are you just like refusing to also interact with other media? Because I don't know, I do feel like there's a little bit of that as well, you know. Of people just refusing to like engage with other forms of art, and missing that what the new generations are trying to bring. Well, so who knows? The internet also lies. Maybe Undertale wasn't as big as we thought. And that's example from like TV. I have it just been the one incident. It's like at the end of the day, the internet isn't real life. So who knows? Again, I'm gonna stop talking because it's getting increasingly difficult with the shapes that I'm trying to draw. I'm trying to talk about such an interesting little topic. It lets me. It's very interesting to talk about, and it'd be nice to have other people from different parts of the world what they consider icons. I am from different groups of people because, like, what do book lovers consider as icons? You know, not the ones that are reading this YA fantasy garbage, romantasy garbage. Hey, she's porn. We don't like those. Yeah, she nasty, very nasty. We don't, no, 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 no. We don't touch it. With a 10-foot pole. We focus. In fact, we focus so hard. Kind of, I'm gonna close the microphone a little bit. Not totally, because I have a little bit of food that I am very interested in digesting and eating and masticating. Be right back. I almost nearly ended the live stream by complete accident when I didn't quite want to. I don't know if I know where to paint this. I don't know, man. I was done with the kind of done with the line. The brush. I don't remember different sugar keys for different. That's probably the inconvenient part about learning premises. You get jumbled. Goodness is because pages are so simple that if I press something wrong, it's not gonna do something weird like Photoshop does or Krita. Or actually, haven't had that with Clipstudio yet. Because that one works with touch and not with keyboard or keys things. Arconly. Arconly. They're just snoozing everything away. Seem like they returned. Doing whatever the oh, very hard to get fed. They get to run. They get to walk. Get to drink. Piece and shit. Out of work right there. And all they get to snooze. Very well dressed. Pero chihuahua que no sirven para nada. And one of my grandparents said that pero chihuahua que no sirven para nada. He didn't say that like that too. It sounded more like with a gringo. Pero chihuahua que no sirven para nada. Rest in peace, man. You got me a horse that I never got to saw, and they had to sleep again. Oh well. That just happened. looking forward to doing these bracelets. Actually, I don't think that's gonna be necessary. I think I'm just gonna paint it anyways. Yeah, I don't think that's not visible. Also, something, uh, so I finally showed my mother the Great Hotel Budapest for the first time in her life. I think that's the second Wes Anderson movie that she's ever watched. And she liked it. She enjoyed it. She was quite impressed by everything and how charming everything feels. The cinematography was also like very particular style from Wes Anderson. She liked it. And I'm very excited to show her other Wes Anderson movies. I haven't watched them all. I only watched like 3 of those. It should be a blast. There's also more recent movies that I haven't watched. Like the last time that I knew that there was a Wes Anderson movie was from the Isle of Dogs, and I didn't quite watch that one. But I will. Good enough. After I'm done, is over, lady. Okay. Yeah, it's a silly series. I liked it. It's I like the characters. Feels like the in between, like a very well balanced in between, like Korean series, like TV series, you know, with all its cliches, and also like something you read on, I don't know, probably webtoon, but actually well written. Well, got freaking characters. You think that'd be a bit more normal, but no, not enough good characters. People know. This is all that screen shake. Go! Where's the wrong button? Now the truck that I said earlier. I haven't quite pressed anything that has screwed me over. That screwed me over. Just a little bit. A little bit. That was the same function, so the only thing that screwed me a little bit is the flow. At the end of the day, I ended up I just get to save art. Oh. Just use the transport tool. Do not struggle. Here we go. Sometimes it's about being efficient. Some people don't like that because they call it cheating, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna play it smart. shie. Okay. That's longer. Ah, tiene que ser una broma. ¿Qué hay más detalles? Ah, espera, es más simple lo que pensé. I almost panicked right there. I thought I had to draw more knickknacks. I'm like, no, I don't wanna. But no, it's relatively simple. It's not that bad. So there's little concrete platforms, I believe. No, they look like concrete. Probably something flying underneath to connect the bridge to the ground or something. I don't know. Some engineer explained that shit to me because I have no idea what it's doing. I'm learning a little bit of how these things are working. Man, even these metal structures look way better than some other stuff that we're getting. Like, they care very much. Very much. Right now, people, I don't know. It's funny, there's a, what do you call it, downtown? I don't know, the center, the nucleus of the town. The nucleus of Durango. I believe it's probably called downtown, or Durango, or the historical center, there we go, of the city. Literally right almost in the middle of a historical center. Well, not quite, but there's a little like not park, but like sort of walkway full of trees. That's called Las Alamedas, and there's a lot of beautiful buildings. All buildings, nowhere near us well taken care of, but still a pretty place. Right in between that, there's like these fucking ugly ass bridge. Like, if I understand if you want to be modern, bro, at the very least try and be pretty, you know. No, this ugly ass glass bridge, and right next to it, there's like these tower that I like to call the Tower of Murder, and even them like, no, poor Tower of Murder, it's way prettier than a shit. It's just a glass building, a dark glass building with a lot of spikes, and I'm like, that just looks so bad.
Why didn't you build this? I don't know, anywhere else that it wasn't the historical center. Like, bro, eh, I don't care. Do your shit elsewhere. Elsewhere. Not cool.
Oh, poor little buddy, he's very desperate. Oh, no can do, sir. I'm betting you that the other girl is also crying to him. You're just making it worse. I haven't really heard her cry. Maybe asleep right now. She's just the one that's just, yeah, poor little buddy. Charge, continue, steady, come on, you can do it. Push, push. Push, push, push. Push, push. Push, push, push. On. Continue. Do it. Lotus. Dawn. Okay, of course I'm putting over here as well. Oh, actually, I'm going to modify the colors a little bit so it looks more saturated because there's. I like the contrast between the greens and the yellows. I think they look pretty cool in this picture. Maybe accentuate the shadows with blue. Yeah, this really inspires me for a color palette. But yeah, effective and painting at the same time. Getting some stuff in the skill point tree. Okay, see what's happening here. Let it be clear. I think it's released. turn off tablet thingy for reference. Please. I think I'm gonna turn off the microphone because, yeah. Until I can think of something to say. Right now, yeah, highly focused. Very focused. Where is it? There we go. Also, like, more music.
Okay.
I think I'm finished with it. It's not perfect, but at least as long as it's percent, it's fine. But like that. And I did learn a few things, even though I did kind of get lazy here. But at the same time, I don't think you can add that many details, so many pixels. Sometimes you just have to roll with it. And I think and my dog is still very anxious. What I see you, boy, really a buddy. You cannot get it. Oh no. I said a lot of problematic shit today. I'm talking about dogs, man. I know. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, good. Bye. Let's be efficient. Not perfect, but it works. It works. Alright, and that's not actually in the photo. Okay. I think it's more contamination, but I really like this guy. by the way, when I was silent, I accidentally scratched my cut because I got itchy and I just forgot I had a cut. I'm regretting a lot of things. I was so focused on my work, I forgot I just was supposed to do the job. I'm paying the price for it. I'm getting some garbage. Thank you very much. Yeah, bring in more energy into the shadows. Probably nowhere near as saturated now. But oh, nice. Yeah, great. Bring in the grease. Not actually truly true gray. It's almost barely like touching gray. Then actually use proper true gray. Well, you're doing something a bit more stylistic with the winning. You're trying to do something a bit more realistic. Do not. Don't touch the gray! Don't touch the gray! It's a bad idea. It's like trying to go from like straight black to like shading. Like it makes everything look kind of bad. But do you use black? Black's a friend, not an enemy. I don't know who was the dingus who said you should never use black in animation or wherever the fuck they're saying that shit. Because that shit dumb. I have never seen Batman the animated series. That shit uses a lot of black. What the fuck are you talking about, man? You silly goose. Like, what comics I've been using black all the time. What kind of person lives in a cave? This is that sort of thing. Now, I don't know where that comes from. That's from like, that's a big old fat light. I still being perpetuated. I don't know by who. Don't use fucking blacks. Like, no, it's don't shape with black. You use black for ambient occlusion, and that's it. Which there's going to be quite a bit in this picture. I'm black. It looks stupid. Or the That would be a little bit, but I mean, speak about the music quite loud. I'll think about it. There you go. Just a little bit lower. I'm probably just make myself louder.
Jeez.
Is this loud enough? Probably. I don't know. Hopefully. Looks a little bit louder. Close about this. I don't know, man. No, that is louder. Just a little bit lower. It's quite unlucky. These things. Shh, I'm painting them. I'm going to make sure like the reds kind of impact. Kind of around the same situation as the yellows. I really want to have the green to pop out. If possible. Basically, just a little. I'm surprised. Braved it. Look good. Actually, it's 3 hours. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do a part 2 and it's sort of luck in the years, but it's terrible. It's not done. It's not done yet. What am I? Happy that happened. Okay, yeah, I'll continue this on Sunday then. Thank you very much for the little single person who stayed in here for hours to beat it. That's progress. Oh my god. Okay, time to finish. Bye bye.